Hey, guys. Okay, so this is a random live. This wasn't planned or anything. I'm not expecting anyone to be here. And usually I would even have things like this private to start with and then make it public afterwards. But I thought I'll jump in on here randomly. It'd be much quicker to get through it that way. I hope everyone's doing well. This is the proper first video of the year. The last one that I did that's just before the end of 2021. So happy new year officially. I hope the year has started out right. I mean, for the most part, compared to the last couple of years, um, it was all going relatively well up until sort of the end of the week. There is, what's happening in Tonga with the volcanic eruption on the on I can't speak on the ground, which is causing problems. So I have them in my thoughts, and I hope it's not too devastating, especially from a life point of view. So absolutely thinking about that. I wanted to come on here and just speak freely. This wasn't planned or anything. It's off the back of a phone call that I got this week. I got a call from my auntie. My auntie, this is my mom's sister, who, do you know what? I don't know how I felt after that call. And I think this is part of me trying to process it as well. Um, she was she fell pregnant as a teenager, and if you were in this group, you know how it goes. She absolutely faced consequences for it because she wasn't married, and so she was disowned in some way. She was really cast out and sent to, try and make it work, or sent to the family of the boy at the time who had gotten her pregnant. And really, all the time that I experienced her growing up, it felt like she was on the back foot trying to catch up. My mom was the perfect daughter. I mean, off the back of what had happened with her elder sister, my mom was married off, as quickly as possible. So, and all those years, she has been building a life. All those years, she has been making a life for herself out of this group. But there is something when you're in a place where you're in the same place where family is supposed to be everything, communities are tight knit, certainly compared to the UK. It was a huge loss being separated like that from family. And so it's always been a struggle. I'm immensely proud of her. I don't know how she put herself through school after having the babies. From a professional level, she had done the best out of her siblings, my mother and my mother's brother. She had done well for herself. And I really thought she had gotten away from it. I really thought she had found a way to move past it. You know, that and this is the thing, and bear with me, my thoughts are going to be all over the place here. I'm just saying it as I'm feeling it. It's important to not just leave, hence the title of this video, how to live in a way that is permanent. It's not enough to just stop. You don't have to undo what has been done. Stepping away only from the group without finding your foundations, you're going to be left with a void. You're going to be left with a void that won't be filled. And this group, they know how to explore that. They know how to exploit that. They know how to tap into that gap, tap into that void, and really make it feel like a loss. She was really left out there on her own, and eternally seeking approval from her parents, my grandparents, just really trying and trying and never really being quite good enough. So to get that call from her this week, if you remember, maybe my last video or the one before this, when was it Anthony Morris was saying to witnesses, call people who have left, and I was jokingly saying, nobody call me, you're going to be ignored, and I thought I was just joking, but it turns out that I wasn't. She called me, and I genuinely think that that's off the back of that. I saw a phone call come through from my auntie's number. I was getting excited to say we're gonna have a chat. No, she was calling to try and pull me back in. That's what she was calling me for, because she herself, she had been convinced to get back in and got baptized over 3 years ago. Over 3 years ago, she was pulled back in. She got baptized. That was the only way to have a proper relationship again. Now, I'm not there. I'm not even sure what that relationship looks like. If it's truly fixed, or it's just some way to patch things up. But she is back in. She's back in now, and like I said to her, if that makes you happy, if that fills the void that you've been wanting to fill, then I'm happy for you. But at the same time, I have mixed feelings. I feel like she had been in that situation where, even though she stepped away, there wasn't really that digging. So, using myself as an example, if you watch me for any length of time, you know that there was a lot of years between me physically discontinuing going to the kingdom halls and all of that, to realizing that, hang on, this thing is a cult. There was almost a 6-7 year gap in between. During that time, I did zero research. I didn't look into anything. And honestly, it would have been easy to go back, because that's where my family was going to be. That's what was going to make things okay. And that is the sinister thing about the way the governing body sets these rules, where if someone decides to leave, they leave their family, they lose them. If you're geographically in the same place, that means your friends as well. Everyone you've ever known, everyone that you've ever been close to, you lose them as well. And that is the sinister thing. You know, and a mixed bag. I mean, I feel like I had a bit of a better situation where geographically I wasn't there. I had this space to form different relationships, form different friendships that wasn't part of this of the group. So when I left, it wasn't everything that was being lost at the same time. But in addition to that, I had to do the research. I had to do the work to look at, okay, why exactly did I leave? And really deeply reflect and analyze it from a logical point of view. Does this actually make sense? Are the claims that are being made make sense? How does it add up? For me, looking at the history was a huge part of that. And sadly, I don't feel my auntie went through that. What I was hearing from her was, I'm so happy to have a relationship with my sister again, with my brother again, because that was the only way she was going to get that. And so I'm left with mixed feelings. At the point of this live is, I don't want to bash her. Um I understand. I completely understand. If you've been dealing with being outcasted from, I don't know, 19 she was when she fell pregnant, it is tough. It is hard. And if you see an opening, a way to get back in, especially the fact that their parents, so my grandparents, they passed away in the last few years. All she has now are her brother and sister. She cannot afford to not have a relationship with them. She is geographically there. That's where things are. That's where everything is. And so she's happy to be back in relationship with them. And the language she was using, it's never too late to come back. Just claims, I mean, on the one hand, it's comical, the proselytizing bit. I can laugh at what's being said, I can laugh at the claims that are being made by the group, but underlying all of that, that is my family, that is my auntie, who has been hounded to going back to something that I don't think is good for anyone to be in. And then she was talking about how she was getting her own grandchild to get into it. And it's just this cycle. And that left me quite sad, actually. It left me feeling very sad. So I am going to implore, beg, ask any one of you, if you are deciding to leave, it's so important to do your research, to understand why you're leaving this group. Take the time to understand that it's not enough to just walk away. Doing the research and then filling the voids that's going to be left, because a void is going to be left. If you were born into this and it's all you've known, it's going to be a huge gap. So it's important to fill that void with something else. I'm not talking about a different religion or anything like that, but a social circle that's going to stop you feeling isolated. That's going to stop you feeling all alone in the world. I mean, I'm still working on it. Trust me. I am. I have people in my life. I have people that have been there, but I continually assess that as things change. But it's so important to have that. I don't want to keep going on and on, but that was really the thing for me, of the back of that phone call. Like I said, if it makes her happy to have that relationship again, I wish she wasn't under those circumstances where she felt like she had to, but there we are. There we are. I'm going to leave this one here, pretty short one. I would like to know your thoughts. I want to hear, have you had any calls yourself lately? Because that seems to be what the governing body is pushing now, for their members to ring family members, friends, people who have left, to try and get them back. The icky feeling that I had when I pictured my auntie counting the time that she was on the phone with me as witnessing time. I hope she didn't, but that thought crossed my mind, and that just felt icky. Like, would she go away and put that time down as time she has spent preaching? This is all wrong. This is all very wrong. Anyway, I'm not going to go past the next minute. I'm 12 and a half, almost 13 minutes here. This was meant to be a very short one. I want to hear your thoughts, and look after yourself, everyone. Stay safe. I'll probably remember something afterwards, but we're going to leave it at that. Have a good week, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.